thought it was nice to be able to kind of really clearly see where the old cottage started and stopped and the new extension began. And you can see that in some of the choices that have been made about where areas of the house are black and some of them are left white. So the old part of the cottage stays in a Dulux natural white shade. And then as we transition into the extension, we move to Dulux Black. The black is really important, I think, in this house because the space that we've added to the back is not really that large, but the Dulux Black is a really useful tool to kind of draw your eye beyond the extension and out further to see the really amazing view. My name's John Ellway and I'm the architect on this project. So the house that we're in is in Brisbane in Australia. We're in a suburb just northeast of the city centre called Clayfield. And Brisbane is a city that's kind of made up of lots of timber cottages, timber tents some people like to call them because they get quite cold in winter. And I began this project back in 2018 when all the kids were sort of around primary school age. And a big part of the idea of the house was creating something that could expand a little bit for them as they got a little bit older into their teenage years, which they're all kind of in high school about now. And the other thing they were really looking for was a pool undercover, and as well as dealing with a really difficult kind of hilly site that faces due west, so it gets a lot of afternoon sun. Designing these houses is a little bit like Tetris in a way. You have to fit different things in and hide different things. So much of the house is open to be viewed from within. And the house is quite private from the neighbours. Like you'll notice that down the sides of the houses, they're really set up like blinkers where the neighbours can't really see in. But once you're inside the house, it just feels like it opens up completely, particularly to that rear. And part of the idea of the two extensions of a bedroom and kitchen out towards the west was about opening up a really strong kind of view down the centre of the house. And then we placed the pool in the centre of the extension. And the pool is this like wonderful part of the house that reflects beautiful light up into the ceiling and different surfaces of the house. So this way we've given this beautiful view through the centre. All of the rooms from each side can kind of look into the view, into the void, to the pool, up to the sky through the middle. But you'll also notice that you get these kind of diagonal views through rooms at the back, and sort of having so much of the internal facing walls of the house, I guess, being glass, help with that transparency out to the rear. So you can imagine how different that would be if we had have just plonked a box on the back of the old cottage. There's two ways people enter this house, and one is if you're the family member, you might kind of sneak down the driveway and enter through the side door, unload your shopping and bring it up to the kitchen from the rear. But guests kind of come in a more formal entry, the old formal entry of the cottage, which is nice to kind of keep that tradition of entering through the hallway and then into the old lounge room, which is now opening a lot more up to the rear and getting a lot more light in. And then that's the point where you experience the extension, where it opens up horizontally and vertically to kind of capture the landscape, the view and the distant mountains. A lot of people have asked me, how do you do a house facing west with so much glass, John? And I think you just have to be really strategic about how you protect that glass through different times of the year and times of the day. So we've got 4 or 5 blinds that are really kind of strategically placed to be able to cover all of these openings. This house really feels, to me, completely different when all the blinds are shut. It's got this really dappled kind of lovely light compared to when it's open, which is also lovely in itself. So I was very lucky to go on the Dulux study tour in 2015, which is nearly 10 years ago now. And I have to say it was definitely one of the most important experiences of my architecture career so far. And it's this great kind of initiative where a bunch of, actually 5 of us are chosen each year to go and spend a week or 2 traveling around the world. So the big thing for me about the tour was, I think it opened up a whole bunch of connections to colleagues, and that's created another whole bigger, wider network of people that you can know and chat to and rely on, which is really lovely. It's kind of special to see the house in the rain as well. These houses are always so much different, from a sunny day to an overcast day to a really rainy day, and it's kind of lovely that we've been able to see it. Yeah, so this is the first time I've been back in probably nearly 12 months. I like to give my clients a little bit of space and time to kind of move in, and they've probably had enough of me after all the pain and tears of building for a year or 2. It's really lovely to come back, and it's kind of nice to have it captured now that the landscape in the garden has grown so much, which is really lovely.